Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. There are a lot of questions and queries over FMCG sectors, particularly Hindustan Unilever stocks, as to why the stock is falling. We will see the reasons for the fall and what are the opportunities, and also we try to know why this stock is regarded as one of the defensive stock. While the economy was just recovering from COVID impact, another bad thing that hit the market in the form of Russia-Ukraine war. The raw materials for most of the FMCGs include wheat, corn and edible oils like palm oils. The palm oils is used in the manufacturing of soaps. The Russia and Ukraine combined, they are the largest producer and exporter of wheat and corn. And there is supply side constraint due to this ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Also, there is a fear of short supply of these raw materials, causing the prices to skyrocket. See, high inflation time we have seen in the past also, and our companies have dealt with those situations quite efficiently. But this time there is a concern because it is a war-induced situation. Now let's hear Warren Buffett answering what business to consider during high inflation period.
Period of high inflation, which particular businesses owned by Berkshire Hathaway will perform the best, and which will perform the worst, and why?
Well, the businesses that will perform the best are the ones that require little capital investment to facilitate inflationary growth and that have strong positions that allow them to increase prices with inflation.
He's spoken about two things here. First one is the businesses that require very less capital reinvestment or less capex. There are some companies which are very capital intensive. That means they need more capital expenditures year on year on their plant, properties and equipments. Example, oil and gas, utilities, infrastructure companies, etc. FMCG companies requires very less capex as compared to other sectors. We will see this with the example of Hindustan Unilever. Look at the cash from operations highlighted here for Hindustan Unilever. Now see their spending on the capex. Only 10 to 12% of their cash from operation is utilized for the capex, that is for the purchasing of fixed assets. That enables them to generate free cash flow every single year. Free cash flow is nothing but cash from operations minus fixed assets or capital expenditures. Now let's see the example of any capital intensive business. Let's see Reliance Industries. Because they have to spend more on their plant, properties and equipment. Look at their cash from operations and investment on the fixed assets. You see most of the times the investment on the fixed assets it's more than their cash from operations. So they're not able to generate positive free cash flow. I'm not saying that these companies are bad. We are just talking about the profitability and the current situations. And anyways, these assets will be with them in their balance sheet. The other point Warren Buffett said is about the pricing power. The companies which can pass on the input cost pressure to the consumer will do the best in the inflation environment. I think none of us would dispute on the pricing power of Hindustan Unilever. No matter what and how many times the company increases its product prices, people will not stop buying HUL products. And yes, of course, there will be some impact on the volumes, especially in the rural areas, because as the inflation increases, people will, limit their expenses. And other important thing in the case of FMCG sector is that they have a very short cash conversion cycle. This is nothing but how fast they are converting their inventories into cash. HUL enjoys negative cash conversion cycle. Only few companies in Indian stock market that has negative cash conversion cycle. HUL, Nestle and P&G, etc. to name a few. In the case of negative cash conversion cycle, company takes less time to sell its inventory and receive cash from the customer compared to the time in which it has to pay to its supplier for the raw materials. Let's take the example of March 21. You can see the days payable is 161. That means HUL has ample amount of time to pay his supplier for the raw materials. That is, once the raw materials is supplied, company has 161 days of time to pay the supplier for their raw materials. See, after receiving the raw material, company has converted that into final product and sold to the customer on the 66th day. And the customer took 14 days to pay HUL for the product received by him. I will again simplify it for you. On the day 1, HUL received the raw material from the supplier, and those raw materials are converted into the final product and sold to the customer on day 66. Okay, and the final customer who received the product from HUL paid the company, that is HUL, on the 80th day, that is 66 plus 14, that is 80. On the 80th day, company received the payment. As per the HUL's agreement with the supplier, company still has 81 days to pay the supplier for the raw materials received. So company has to spend nothing on their day-to-day business activities. Literally, they are running their business on others' money. Company can use this cash in hand to make more cash. This is possible because HUL has the strong brand loyalty and they have a dominant position in the FMCG industry that enables them to bargain with the supplier to expand their payment cycle in favor of the company. And that's why most of the FMCG stocks will have a very good ROCE, because they generate very good profit out of less capital. Look at the ROCE of HUL, that is excellent, except for March 2021. That is because in year 2020, HUL has acquired two companies. One is VWash and the other one is the GSK. Yet, company did not borrow money from banks for the acquisition. Instead, they raised fund through equities. You can see the increase in total number of outstanding shares from 216 to 235 crores. I think we can see the equity capital amount in ticker tape. Let's see ticker tape. Oh, yes, you can see here equity capital has been increased from 8,000 to 47,000, almost 6 times. That's why we saw a dip in ROCE, because capital employed has been increased. That's not a concern. Once the revenue from their new businesses increases, ROCE will automatically increase. Let's go to the chart of HUL, and the stock was roughly fallen around 33% from its peak, and then there was a bounce, and currently it is around 26% below its peak. Often we don't see such fall in HUL. For me, it's an opportunity because there is nothing wrong with their company's financial performance. I'm already 80% invested in this stock. I started aggregating this stock at around 2100 level, and when stock fallen to 1900, I added more quantities. And those of you who are thinking to buy this stock, I think this is the right time you can enter into. And start with small quantity, and if the price fall to 1900 again, you can add more. And again, this is not a buying recommendation. Please act according to your research and studies. Let's see on a weekly chart. It seems to be price is taking support at 200 moving average, and if you see, price has never breached this 200 moving average on a weekly chart. I hope you like the video and the content. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.